I had to say special thank you to Dave. Dave for getting this. He's been sitting here waiting patiently for me. So let's get this show started, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world famous Rich Wilson Show.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world famous Rich Wilson Show. I'm Rich Wilson, and, well, you're not. But I tell you what, right now, I would tell you that I'm a little on the irritated side, and the reason why I'm a little bit on the irritated side is because I saw more people today talking about the garbage about how the Florida bill says don't say gay. Folks, hey, Dean, the bill does not say don't say gay. Okay, now this isn't originally the story that I was going to run with today, but we're still working on the production of that story, so we're not going to have it today. I got caught up with my doctor and doing a bunch of running around and stuff like that, so we're working on a story that involves Disney and some of the bullshit going on with that company. But the problem is there's a lot of people out there that have said that the Florida bill, says, it's the don't say gay bill. Well, there's a problem with that because it doesn't actually say that. Nowhere does it say that. Okay? Nowhere does that bill actually discriminate against anyone or any particular group. And a lot of people, this is discrimination and this. No, it isn't. We went into this discussion the other night talking about the Florida bill that prohibits sexuality-based education from kindergartner through third grade. Okay? Now, when you say that it prohibits the education of that particular field, then that's across the board, folks. People saying that this discriminates against people, and now you can't, it only discriminates against LGBTQIA plus. Okay, I'm sorry, but you're incorrect because heterosexuality or straight or whatever you want to call it, cannot also that cannot be taught or educate part of the education either. Okay, and I'm seeing it going around like crazy about how this is what it is. This is absolutely ridiculous. And to give you an idea of this, how bad this is, and I'm going to bring this up. Hold on. I got to do an auto mute on this. This is one of these people. I actually used to follow this guy because this guy used to actually be pretty decent person to follow. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, he went off on some like lame ass. I can't even begin to explain it. But anyway, let me see if I can bring this up for you. Let me make sure this is on. And here we go. I don't know if you guys. Okay, that's not. Oh, it's because it's muted.
This is going to be a part speaking. All right, guys.
Okay, this is just absolute
about 3
stupidity.
minutes. If you don't like these kind of videos, you can just scroll on. This is going to be a part speaking truth to BS, part rambling, and real heavy dose of truth. If you get offended easily, you might just want to go ahead and scroll on now. You're welcome. First and foremost, I have a trans kid. It's no secret.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
He was born a little girl, and now he's a man.
Okay, good
And
for
it
you.
doesn't make me love him any less.
Glad you support
Somebody
him.
reported one of my videos just for talking about that
And
one
they're
time.
assholes, and they
But now that
hope
you
they
do
lose
know
their
that I
account.
have a trans kid, you can understand why I'm paying close attention to what's happening in America right now. You got the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, which is
it doesn't
basically
say.
anti-LGBTQIA plus
No, it's
everything.
not.
Those people would make it illegal for two people to talk in Walmart parking lot about anything like that.
That would be negative.
If they could.
Okay, so once again, it doesn't say don't say gay. It doesn't discriminate against LGBTQIA plus, because across the board you can't teach sexuality for kindergartners through third grade. Okay? So, and then to say that they wouldn't allow people to be able to talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about in the Walmart parking lot. Okay, so let's stop and let's dissect that for a second, okay? Because of retards like this. And yes, I use that word. Why? Retard means too slow. Retarded means you are slow. Slow people like this are the reason why we have the problem that we have, because they're being spoon-fed this bullshit and they're believing it. Then they go on a TikTok and let's see. Let's at the top, you guys can't see it. 13,000 likes on there, and of course I'm the most common commenter. I'm waiting for him to try and comment back to me on this. Okay? And it's straight bullshit. And the thing is if you take a look at social media, who is censoring free speech the most out there? Who is actually censoring free speech the most? It's not the Republicans. Okay? It's not the independents. It's the progressives. Progressive policies are what's censoring. Okay? It's not the conservatives, because actually if you go on Getter, which is a primarily conservative run social media platform, even the progressive liberals are on there saying whatever the hell they want to say. And nobody's stopping them. Now, if there is stuff involving children and things like that, they do shut it down. Getter's actually pretty quick about it. Okay? But if you go on YouTube right now and you start promoting that this does not say don't say gay, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a strike on my Twitter account, my account will get shut down for a period of time. So who's actually the ones that are most responsible for trying to shut down free speech? It's not the conservatives. So everything so far he said after talking about his son, which, great. I'm glad that your son was able to be able to transition and be the person he is, and is able to be happy with himself. And I'm grateful for that. But according to you, according to me being a conservative, I would not allow that. But I'm perfectly great with your child being able to be the person they are supposed to be. But I don't believe that any kind of sexuality should be taught in grades kindergarten through third. And by the way, somebody did give me a rash of shit the other day about how I say it. It's kindergarten. And I say kindergarten. Okay. It's how I've said it my whole life. I mispronounce it. Whatever.
And all these people arguing about CRT that's not even taught K through 12, it's a college level.
That's bullshit. That was proven that there's already been multiple schools where that actually was being taught. Where they're getting away with this argument, folks, where they're getting away with that argument is it's not officially on the curriculum documentation or planning schedule. Okay, so when you go to look it up, it doesn't exist. But then when you look at the stuff that the teachers were teaching in those schools, yes, it is CRT. So that's a line of shit. It is all that is a technicality because it's not listed on the official curriculum docket.
Level course. These people are just making political theater out of all this. And then you have all the anti-abortion laws that are being passed right now. One of those laws I even read would make it illegal for a woman to get an abortion if she had an ectopic pregnancy.
But let's not talk about how in Colorado you can get abortion all the way up to 9 months.
That was going to kill her. She could get an abortion and go to prison or just die. Yeah. And the Republicans are trying to redraw the district.
And actually, that's not what he just said is not true. And it's a common misconception of trying to understand the 13-week or 11-week bills that exist out there. That's what this is in reference to, which, again, not reading a bill and only believing. See, a lot of these people who put this shit out there have never read the bill. What they do is they go to their websites. Their websites tell them what their talking points are. They only explain to them what those points are, okay, that they need to be concerned about. And this is how this affects you. And then it gets spread around. And don't get me wrong, conservatives have the same shit too. But read the bill. If you're going to start commenting about a bill that has been passed in a state or in a city or a county or in federal government, read the bill. I will guarantee you half the people that back some of the federal bills that exist because they're told on the surface what it is has never gone through and actually read the entire 8,000, 11,000, 12,000, 15,000 page bills. I have. And if you actually read some of these bills, you'd realize how stupid some of this is. And there's a reason why some of this stuff it gets voted down. Because only about 150 pages have to do with the actual law. The rest of the bill is all pork. Okay, and I'll explain what that is to you in a second. Let's see what else idiotic that he has to say.
Maps, gerrymandering is what they call that. Some judges say that that's okay, and other judges overrode it and said, no, you can't do that. Then you got Tennessee over there trying to make it okay for a 12-year-old girl to get married. No age limit, just let her get married whenever.
That's also not what the Tennessee bill says either. It doesn't. I guess he missed where in Oklahoma, a girl as early as, in fact, in a lot of states, with parent authorization, you can get married at the age of 14. Didn't know that. You do that in 4 Democrat ran states too. So it's not just a conservative thing, but nice try.
All of these things that I have just mentioned are just scratching the surface of the craziness that the Republicans are trying to do. And believe me, they are.
Really? Do we want to go down the laundry list of shit that the Democrat states are doing? Because we can. Like in the state of New York, you can be an illegal alien, not be in this country legally, and now you can vote. Why? Because if you promise them a bunch of shit to get them to vote, guess what? They'll vote for you. Like, we'll give you citizenship if you vote for us. So then we're going to let a bunch of them not be able to vote. Here's the other problem. When you have an illegal alien, here's another issue why it's a problem to vote. Yeah, Dean said in the state of Washington, which is highly liberal, at the age of 14, you can marry. You only picked out Tennessee, but you forget state of California, state of Washington, state, let's see, what is it? Massachusetts. And there's one other one that you can get married at the age of 14 with parents' permission that are Democrat ran states. But we're going to talk about Tennessee. We're going to pick out one to y'all's 4. And do I agree with that? Nope. I don't agree with that. I don't. Because I know in Oklahoma you can do that. I don't agree with it. Okay? Totally disagree with it. But they're going to say that. I'm not even looking at my Facebook feed right now. I'm pretty sure people... Nope. Nobody's commenting on my Facebook feed right now. So, okay, cool. Let's go back. Okay. So again... Talking points is all he's said so far. He has not backed anything up with any kind of fact. Like when you go to his description on this, there's no websites, no nothing to back it up. Time for another episode of Speaking the Truth to BS. Actually, it's the other way around. Decided to watch on Twitch today. All right, well, that's cool, William. Okay, and it's actually the other way around. You're talking BS. And just rambling, and there's some truth for y'all. I have yet to find the truth other than about his son, which I'm happy about. I'll even later on comment the link to this video where I discussed him directly.
are trying to do it as quickly as possible, and there's a reason for that.
No, they're not.
They know that their time is just about done.
No, they're not.
They see the handwriting on the wall, and so
Really, Republicans' times are about done? Democrat politicians right now carry a 33% approval rating across the board. Democrat approval ratings at 33% across the board. Your president is at 30%. The Republican Party is about done? You might want to go check your numbers there again.
does everybody else. They're trying to pass as much as they can and get it into law because they know that the court systems are going to take years to override any of that stuff. This is what I referred to maybe a year ago. We're witnessing the death of the Republican Party. These are like the death throes. They're going to do.
We have more and more younger people running for office as Republicans now than the Democrats. The Democrats are putting up the same old 80, 90-year-old candidates. We have more younger. We have a much younger base of politicians coming up as Republicans than the Democrats do. Personally, I'd like to see a lot more independents. I would love to see more independent people, more independents. I have had enough of the two-party system altogether.
Do as much as they can while they still have power. Lindsey.
Who the hell has power? Who controls the Senate? Here's another reason why this is bullshit. Who controls the Senate? Democrats. Who controls the House? Democrats. Who has the White House? Democrats. The Republicans have control? And what? Oh, we're going to talk about the states? Well, most of the states that are controlled by Republicans are red states. Most of the states that are controlled by the Democrats have been historically blue states. That right there, that statement alone tells you everything he said is bullshit. Every bit of it.
Graham got on national television, told everybody if Trump does not win the 2020 election, we'll never have another Republican president.
The 2020 election? Does he? Let me go back just to here and see if that's what he said.
We're witnessing the death of the Republican Party. These are like the death throes. They're going to do as much as they can while they still have power. Lindsey Graham got on national television, told everybody if Trump does not win the 2020 election, we'll never have another Republican president. You know,
he posted this 1 hour ago. Okay. The 2020 election already happened. Biden got elected. The next election is 2024. The Republican Party didn't die. I mean, it's still going. And in fact, him saying that the Republicans are going to die, why is it right now showing that the Republicans in the midterms right now, and this is even by the Washington Post, who don't like conservatives. CNN has even said this. MSNBC has said this. In fact, MSNBC said that if the Democrats don't get their act together, the Republicans are going to take the House and the Senate back. Where the hell are you getting your information from? He said the 2020 election, and if Trump didn't win, the Republicans are dead. I hate to be the bearer of bad news there, genius, but I think you were wrong on that. And this was posted an hour ago. We're 2022, and the Republicans are climbing in popularity, and the Democrats are sinking. In fact, y'all at the point y'all sinking more than faster than the y'all sinking faster than the Titanic did. Just saying.
You know what? You're 100% spot on, bud. He didn't get a single argument out of me. Yeah, and speaking of arguments, it's not going to do you any good to argue with people on the right about any of these topics that I just discussed.
Yeah,
Their
because you
mind
don't
is already
base
set
anything
in
you say in
concrete.
fact.
They support all this crazy shit, and if you don't, then the only thing that you can do is vote.
Yes.
If you think that these laws that they're trying to pass are crazy, vote for the other side.
I've been saying that for years.
Out of office.
We agree
There's
on
some
this.
truth for you. Hope you guys have a great night.
There was
All right, guys, we need to talk for about...
There was absolutely no truth. There was no truth in anything he said. Oh, by the way, William Squire honestly could see them push legal federal weed to try and get some votes. Hell, even the Republicans want to push for legalization on the federal level of marijuana. Even the Republicans. Well, the Republicans decided to come out for it because they're like, well, now it's socially acceptable. Myself and Bubba and TJ had a conversation about that this past weekend. It's socially acceptable now, so now the Republicans back it too. You know, right now, if you put a 30% tax on federally regulated marijuana, at the rate of consumption, we'd pay off the debt. I mean, hell, I talked about 10% when I was in high school. Now it takes 30%, but people would still pay that. Look at the state of Colorado. But the problem is, look at the state of California. They fucked it up completely because they spend more than the government does. Nothing this idiot about the Florida bill is accurate. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Okay? Here you want to hear these are the same people and the stupidity that they talk about here. All right, here's some more stupidity, right? And I love this guy. I love this guy.
Gray milk and not like cow milk. You know what I mean?
Okay, hold on. Let me get that back to me.
It's vegan because it's strawberry milk and not like cow milk. You know what I mean?
That's the people that we're dealing with. Okay. It's vegan because it's strawberry milk and not cow milk. Dumbass milk. But this is why like I said, this is why I use the word retarded, because people are like, you can't say retarded. Yes, I can. Retard, too slow. Retarded is slowed. That is a slow person. Okay? Now people are like, what? That would be making fun of people with that have physical needs. Nope. Let me tell you. Special needs individuals are not retarded. Okay? They're not. That guy was retarded. I know. I'll probably get a YouTube hit for this because I used the word. Somebody report. He'll probably report it as soon as I put the link in. But here's the thing. I got the balls to put the link to my video up there so he can go back and review what I just did. But it's people like that are a problem. It is. It's legitimately people like that are the problem. Because they get their talking points and then they use their social media platforms where they have tons and tons of followers and tons of likes and people just following along with whatever they say, and then they use it to spread bullshit. That's one of the reasons why I tell people to check out my show, because I don't deal in bullshit. I tell you what's happening, I find you the facts of that information, and then I give you my opinion on it. Dean says that see the revenue the states are bringing in, so they want some marijuana tax revenue. I don't have a problem with it. Make marijuana federally legal, put a 30% tax on it, and make the bill so where the tax has to be put to the debt. Yeah, the debt paid off in 4 years. In fact, if I was running for president, I would have that as part of my platform. I'm going to federally legalize marijuana, and we're going to put a 30% tax on it, and every bit of the money from that tax has to go to paying off the debt. William Squire, insert Billy Madison meme. I do at the end of the show. Insert Billy Madison meme where there was no intelligent thought in the statement. I could have played the end of the show right there at the end of that guy's statement. He literally has no facts to back up what he said. It's literally just talking points. He probably resides in one of those echo-chambered social media groups where everybody blows sunshine up each other's ass and tells everybody, and then they sit there and say, well, these are the talking points of the day, and that's what they do. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But that's the problem. And DeSantis is sitting there telling you, I dare you to challenge me. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Disney is catching all kinds of backlash over this. And actually, we're finding out now, based on investigations into Disney about this, because Disney's decided they want to be all up in front about it, we're finding out that there's a lot of shady shit going on behind the scenes at Disney. And did you know that Disney stocks are dropping? That's right. They're dropping. People are yanking. Because here's the thing. People don't take their kids to Disney World to have all the things pushed on them of the day. Okay? They go to Disney World and Disneyland because it's an escape. It's a place to take your children, to allow your children to be the innocent people they are. But when you try to push all these agendas on your children and all these things, you remove their innocence. It's like Tom McDonald said, the only race when we were kids that we gave a shit about was races that we didn't win. Like first one to the corner wins. Get on the bike. Whoever gets to the end of the block first wins. That's the only race we gave a shit about when we were kids. Now, as a child, they want you to care about the color of your skin. Kids don't care. Kids only care because they are told to care. You put a bunch of kids of different colors, different sexes in a room and with toys and let them play, and they will play. Now you might have the occasional kid that's this bully, but that's because he's a product of his upbringing at home. More than likely, if you got a kid that becomes a bully in that situation, even at a very young age, that's signs of abuse. Okay? But in this situation, they don't care. You'll have the white kid playing with the black kid, or the black kid playing with an Asian kid, and the white kid playing with the Asian and the black kid, and the Hispanic kid playing with the Asian kid. They don't give a shit. You'll have the boys playing with the girls, and the girls playing with the boys. Nobody cares. They don't care when they're little. So then we got to sit there and we got to tell them that they need to care. That's where we fucked our society up, people. That's where we screwed the whole thing up, is we told our kids they have to give a damn. We tell children you're oppressed. We tell children you're a victim when they haven't been a victim. When they haven't been oppressed. And they don't know any different between Johnny and Joe, or Tyrone or Tariq. They don't know the difference. All they know is that's Johnny, that's Tyrone, that's Tariq, that's Joey, that's Billy, that's Jane, that's Jamie. They don't know that they don't give a shit about the color of their skin. They don't care about the religion that they have. They don't care about any of that. They just know them by name. They look at their face, they know their name, and they move on with their life. And they do what they do as kids. But then as adults think, we should go in and tell our children, you should feel this, you should feel that. That's where we're fucking up our society, people. We're adults. We're already jacked up, but it doesn't mean we need to take our children down that same road. As adults, we can learn to figure out and get past what we believed. We can get past all that as adults. But children, when you imprint that into their mind, it's a lot harder to get it out of them. There were certain words and terminologies I didn't know were offensive until I finally had a friend tell me, because I'd heard it around some of my family members and their friends that they hung out with. You got to realize I was raised by truck drivers. Truck drivers and medical people. The shit that comes out of their mouth when I was a kid gets you shot today. And I didn't know these things were a problem until I had a friend of mine sit down with me and say, in fact, he was a teacher. He was a teacher, and he sat me down and said, do you know what you're saying? And I looked at him and said, no, sir. And he told me what the things were that I was saying and what the context of their meanings were. And I never said them again. Because I was a kid. And luckily enough, I had somebody, instead of tossing me out and writing me off, I had somebody say, this is why this is a problem. This is what you're saying. This is the context and the nature and what of the words that you're using. But you can't do that today. Okay? By the way, if there's anybody listening that's a part of the THA meeting, it will be starting shortly. But you can't do that today, because here's the problem today. If you say something, it's offensive, even though you're not 100% certain it's offensive, but you say it because you've heard it. People don't stop and say, hey, yo, can I talk to you for a second? This is why what you're saying is wrong. Now, there's going to be some people that say, well, I don't fucking give a damn what you got to tell me. I'm going to say it anyway. Those people you can't do nothing about. So what do? You ignore them. They go away. No, people want to fight. People want to march, and they want to burn shit to the ground and everything else. But yet we want to sit here and fight over educating our children about sexuality. We want to, in kindergarten through third grade, but yet we're not willing to educate our own children what things are incorrect and what things are correct, and why they shouldn't say certain things, or we're not willing to police ourselves and say, man, we shouldn't really say this around our children because that's wrong. That's why I stopped saying those things. I stopped saying some of the things that I was saying because, like I said, I had a teacher in high school that pulled me to a side. And if anybody's watching from Woodbridge, and you guys know this person, his name is Mr. Burton. Mr. Burton pulled me aside and said, Rich, this is why what you're saying is wrong. Actually, he started off with Mr. Wilson. And he educated me. He took his lunch break and took me into his classroom and sat me down and said, I heard you saying these things. Where did you learn those from? Well, we were watching an Eddie Murphy special the other night. In fact, it was Eddie Murphy Raw. And everybody that was watching it thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I didn't know that this was a problem. He said, well, let me explain to you what the connotations of these words you were using are. And he educated me on it. And he was very articulate and was very clear about it. Now, this man is a black man. A large black man. Could have snapped me in half. But instead of getting angry with me, instead of flying off the handle and even suspending me from high school, some of the things that I said were so outrageous I should have been kicked out. But our school wasn't about that. He sat me down and because he was deeply offended by some of the things that I said. And after he told me what I was saying, I understood completely. I apologized to that man. I looked him straight in the eyes and I apologized to that man and told him that I was sorry for what I said. And we actually gave each other a hug, and I went on about my day and he went on about his day. And you know what? I never use those words again. It's called educating somebody. That's an education that matters. We don't need to be filling our kids with all this bullshit hatred, fake hate. We don't need to be filling our children. We don't need to be starting our kids off with fake hate. Allow our children their innocence. Because eventually, we're going to be like Joe Biden. We're going to be shuffling around in the bushes, mumbling, not sure where we are, crapping our pants, and we're going to need somebody to take care of us. And who do you think is going to be the ones taking care of us? Them. If we fill them full of hatred, are they going to want to take care of us? God, life's going to suck when you get to that point. Some of us don't have that long to go. Some of us have a ways to go. Might want to think about it. But when you're going to sit there and talk about how the Republicans are the ones all about censoring free speech, no, that's not true. If you look at trends, if you look at social media, if you look at the public square, it's the progressives that are trying to limit free speech. It's the progressives that are sitting there telling you you can't say say things. You know, folks, I'll make it real simple for you, and then I'm going to get out of here. There is a huge difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. Huge difference. That's right, Dean. Stop fake hate. By the way, if you want to support that initiative, go to therichwilsonshow.com. Get yourself a T-shirt. You can also, if you got earbuds, if you got the Apple ear things, we got charging cases that say that. We've got yoga pants. We've got hats, beanies. If you're one of those people who still wears a mask, which that's fine if that's what makes you feel safe, we've got those too. We've got all kinds of crap on that. TheRichWilsonShow.com. Check it out. We also have some other things on there too. We have all kinds of stuff. And if we don't have it with Stop Fake Hate on it, let me know. I will make it. I will design something, and there it'll be for you to buy. Decals, posters, you name it. I finally broke down and ordered my Stop Fake Hate shirt, which I'm going to be wearing. All right, Dean, I'm going to. But I'm not going to the meeting. I'm just going to get out of here. But the thing is, and I'm going to be wearing it, and I hope people ask me, what does Stop Fake Hate mean? Because I will literally take the time, and I will tell them what it means. And hopefully I can pull them along. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I know this wasn't the show I was planning on having, but we're still working on the other show. Hoping we can have it tomorrow. If not, it'll maybe be on Monday. I know I'm going camping on Saturday, so because we just bought a brand new Condor XL for rooftop tent, and I really want to go out there. I'm going to shoot videos of it, and I'm going to have a little bit of review on the show on Monday. So anyway, folks, you guys have yourselves a wonderful night. For everybody here at the World, would you make a butt plug? Yep. If they have it available, I will get one on there. If that means that you'll buy it. I don't think you will, James, but if they got it, I'll put it on there. I don't care. Stop Fake Hate needs to be everywhere. Everywhere. I seriously thought about getting a billboard. Put Stop Fake Hate on there, therichwilsonshow.com on there, and see what happens. But anyway, folks, you guys have yourselves a good night. For everybody here at the world famous Rich Wilson Show, I'm Rich Wilson, and I have to say, William Square, here you go. This is now way. I know you do. I love you too, brother. This now becomes much more relevant. Have a good night.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.